All right, everybody, we're here live at Full Contact Fanatics. Got a huge show lined up. There was actually no fights this weekend, but we still have a lot to talk about. Sitting directamente to my left, we didn't know if he was going to be here or not because he was down in the parking lot. He was on the phone. I said, "Are you coming up?" He said, "I have things I got going on right now. I'll let you know." But he is here.
I'm always here.
Dondo the man.
I live
and
here.
sitting on to my right, John Della O. I got to tell you, John.
How you doing, folks? John Della O here from Della O Jiu-Jitsu and Orange County Championship Wrestling. Just wanted to give myself a little self-introduction as I rushed over here and wanted to choke the living hell out of everyone on the road to here. And then I get here into the parking lot from hell. Somewhere along the line, there is someone who just decided, hey, I'm going to put all the stupid people in cars and all those stupid people in cars, and I'm going to put them in one parking lot. And we're going to call it Next Level. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, when you have, anytime you mix Mexican with soccer, the crowd is going to be, first of all, even though we invented carpooling, there's going to be a million cars in there. Because all you have to do is put something similar to the Chivas jersey on, and everybody will be here. So that's what happens. Well, so that's what's bad about when we have like Maria or Aaron Moro, because they have to park all the way down, way up in the corner. And as you remember, Dondo, the lights went out that one day. I don't know if we didn't pay the bill with it, and they had to walk in complete darkness. They sure did. All the way to the other side.
Well, you know what? And it's not your people with 6 people in one car, or you know what? They're aside from the taco truck that serves friggin' dysentery in a tortilla. What I do not like is the red zone sitting, telephone texting,
those are the soccer moms.
Minivan driving soccer moms who think that the rules do not apply to them, that they're going to park on one side of the red line, right? Meanwhile, Johnny Lexus in his electric car parks on the other side. So you've taken a 2-lane parking lot and turned it into a 3/4 of a lane friggin' squunch by. And then they look at you like, don't get too close to my car. You have no idea how much more payments I owe on this thing. Okay, this goes out to you. You're like 500 feet away downstairs in that parking lot right now, lady, right? Take your stupid minivan and your fat kids who are required to play sports only because they are borderline diabetic, and you don't let them out to play in the tree or on a park or anything. Take your minivan and your fat ass on the other side of the parking lot and get the one bit of exercise that you would be getting just by walking across the parking lot to the front door of the Next Level Fitness Complex. That is all. I'm sorry to step on your feet.
I believe it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago when we had Ricardo Almeida on, and the kids were making so much noise down on that we could barely hear him. Yep, and right. I believe I had Robert. Did you buy that Wesson oil that we could put on those steps so they could take a spill down
coconut
there?
Oil.
But anyways, it happens when you mix kids, Mexicans, soccer moms. It's
not Mexicans. They're as white as the day is long.
Well, they are, but the Mexicans are the ones who take up the parking so that the soccer moms feel that they can park there. But anyways, I literally have to drive around.
You want to talk about people denying white privilege? There's a white privileged woman right there. I can park in the red zone with my minivan and sit there on my goddamn phone, making sure I got my prescription for my diet pills so that you fuck you. Sorry.
So anyways, real quick before we continue on, 7:15 we got Adrian Yanez coming on. Adrian Yanez was in Thailand, and we're going to talk about training Muay Thai. I guess that's where everybody goes, right? To go.
Well, that is where it came from.
Specifically want to tighten up their Muay Thai game or whatever. So not only did he go out there to train Muay Thai, but I guess he saw a lot of the kids that underprivileged and stuff like that. And he said, man, I got to do something
hardcore
or whatever. So I believe he started a GoFundMe or whatever to try to help. He said it was, when I talked to him, he's like, dude, you have no idea what goes on out there. He goes, it's really bad, so I would really like to try to help them. So he's going to be coming on about 7:15. And then 7:30, Gabe Ruediger is scheduled to come on. Now, producer Robert, I don't know if you're mic'd up or whatever. Did you personally get a chance to talk to Gabe Ruediger to make sure that he's coming on? Or because I didn't have any quite that much of involvement with him.
Yeah, I talked to him today, or text with him today.
And he's good to go. Does he have classes at that time, or is he just going to have somebody take over his class?
I didn't ask. He said he's going to be there, so I trust him, and he told me like what the technical specs he has on his phone and all that good stuff. So he's ready. He
didn't pull a Robert and go, I have a track phone and I pay as you go.
So we're gonna have to talk.
So
quick.
yeah, I'm going to call at this time, so make sure you pick up, and then we can go from there. But real quick, we're going to do some news before we get to Adrian Yanez at 7:15. But before we continue on, everybody sitting in this studio was at Lucy's quinceañera.
Sure
Lucy is one of John De La O's students who is not only a jiu-jitsu person but a wrestler. But real quick, before we continue, let me tell you this, John. First of all, I had a great time. I don't know about I didn't get to see John too much. I got a picture of him trying to steal the popcorn. I'll put that up later.
Hey, the kid wasn't going to eat the whole thing, all right?
But we had a lot going on. Dondo was doing some interviews, and Robert was doing some videotaping, and I was doing some announcing, making some announcements and stuff. But
doing what we do.
John, this is what I got to tell you. This was the most embarrassing thing. I thought that Yasmin was Lucy's sister.
Oh, she's going to be happy to hear that.
I did not know that was her mother. So
wow.
when we did the interviews, remember, I go, hey, Dondo, I said, do you want me to do this interview in Spanish because the mom's coming or whatever?
You did a hell of a job.
Go, yeah, go ahead and do it. So I go, hey, Yasmin, I'm going to go ahead and have your mom or whatever come on, or Lucy's mom come on and do it. And she goes, I'm right here.
Look at you flirting.
I'm the mom. That's her grandma. I was, oh, my God. But I seriously thought that, because I was always saying, man, what a nice sister to do all this quinceañera and everything for
even
her.
for a mom.
You didn't realize
it was
the helicopter going, the helicopter mom going.
But
hey, here's the neat thing. You know what really makes Jasmine a good mom? She doesn't park her goddamn minivan in the red zone and blocking people off coming here. She actually knows that when she goes to pick up her daughter from whatever function her daughter's at, she'll park in a parking stall. God forbid it be a few feet away from the front goddamn door.
But dude, all seriousness or whatever, you have a bunch of Koreans and stuff that are usually gone by 5 o'clock at your place, so there is pretty much some parking over there. You know what I'm saying? So over here, there's a different story. There's a million things going on here that all start at night.
We got plenty of parking. You just have to walk a little bit.
Well, no, but you have that problem sometimes in the back, right?
I just park in the back. So what if it's dark?
No, we're
dark
at the dojo.
Yeah.
That one back spot. Sometimes
people park there. It doesn't cause any trouble. I mean, here's the deal, right? There are other people on this earth, not just you. And everyone knows you don't park on a red fire lane. And they're parking 3 and 4 deep, and then they're parking on the other side. Don't get me started about the trash flowing out of the dumpsters either.
Yeah, it is. It does need a little bit of work, but we'll have.
So back to the quinceañera.
Too, but it's a little bit different there. Can you do me a favor and hit the lock on that table? Because every time I lean on it, it's going all the way over there.
Something tells me my rent's going to go up.
Yeah, we got Adrian Yanez coming on in about 6 minutes, but I want to cover a couple things real quick before we get on. Okay, We're taking around the horn, especially Robert too, because we talked about this before. From what I read today, they went ahead and signed T.J. Dillashaw against Demetrius Johnson for UFC 226.
Yeah.
Now we talked about that, and I said that I thought that would be that would be the super fight, and that would be the one to draw money. Now, supposedly everything is signed and it's good to go. I think that's going to draw some money. I think that's the only fight that was feasible for Demetrius Johnson.
It makes sense right now.
We'll go to De La O first. You agree or disagree?
Isn't Dillashaw way too big to be fighting Demetrius Johnson?
Well, they're going to meet
catch weight.
They're going to meet at 135, right?
Yep.
So that means what's his name's going up, and Dillashaw, that's his natural weight that he fights
right around there
or whatever. I see. I don't think it'll be that.
I don't think it's his natural weight. He's got to come down about 10 or 20 pounds.
It's 10 pounds to you is a friggin' dessert.
Yeah.
10 pounds to guys that size, right? That's a huge percentage of their body weight. So, we've had this discussion before about who's next for Demetrius Johnson. He should move up and fight the next guy. He is the champion of his weight class. He should not be moving up. He should not be fighting heavier guys. He is the champion, period. All right? You fight the number one contender from now until the cows come home. And you can say, well, there's more money if he fights Dillashaw. Well, maybe that's great. Dillashaw is not the champ. All right? Demetrius Johnson is. What is happening here, you're seeing what happens in every fight sport. It's the exploiting of the fighters, right? Well, we're going to keep fighting Demetrius against all these other guys. We're going to keep giving him disadvantages until he loses, right? And they're selling the idea that he's going to lose, right? The mere fact that we're having this discussion is a sad statement on how this sport treats its fighters.
But it seems like he's going for the money fight, though, right?
Well, there's also the issue of that weight class doesn't draw the attention of the other weight classes, so they're not getting a sold-out event. Okay, they don't sell the tickets. They don't have the pay-per-view numbers. So by adding Dillashaw, they're going in that direction. I know it's a sport and it's a promotion, and it probably will do better.
Yeah, I just think they're strictly thinking money-wise.
Well,
or whatever.
It is a promotion.
I mean, clean out the division. I don't know
what they're saying is that, in order to treat Demetrius Johnson the way a champion should be treated, right? He has to go up there and start calling people names and saying what the fook and stuff, throwing water bottles back and forth. That's going to draw money?
Or do a Chael Sonnen.
Oh, yeah.
Knucklehead out of him.
You know what? They should be promoting someone like Demetrius Johnson because he is a true class guy. He is a true champion. He is a legitimate Hall of Famer, if there's a Hall of Fame, right? Instead, they're putting him in harm's way. They're kind of, okay, well, you're going to fight a heavier guy in TJ Dillashaw. Yeah, he's going to come down, but you're going to go up.
But it's not like he doesn't have a choice. You know what I mean? He can easily say, no, I'm going to wait and see.
He's fought enough to say that, right?
Honestly, I think if Henry Cejudo and him fight again, I think it'll be a way different fight. Henry Cejudo has moved leaps and bounds in improvement. I don't think he can beat Demetrius, but I think it'd be a much better fight. I think I would pretty much want to see that fight more than TJ Dillashaw. What do you think?
We've already seen it, so we already kind of know.
But it's different. It's a different Henry Cejudo. I mean, that guy really.
I agree. I think evolve and change.
I think Demetrius giving him a beating like he did made him go back and say, "Man, this wrestling is not going to get me to the promised land.
Sure.
I got to really pick up my game or get to what got me to the promised land." He tried to stand with Demetrius and got kneed. If he would have tried to maybe close the distance and get him down with his wrestling, which I think that would have got him to the promised land.
Maybe it isn't that quite big of a puzzle. Maybe John has this thing nailed to the T. It's just that
John Delo.
John Delo. He's been in the game long enough to know.
Donald Trump.
Yes.
What do you think he's
the hell?
But
he's spoken it before. Let's hear it.
Well, let me tell you something. You were right when you say we've already seen what happened there. Right. So, while rematches are always fun, right, for the fans, honestly, I think TJ Dillashaw, maybe bigger, stronger, right? He's
faster?
certainly just as, I don't know.
He's the bionic man. He's bigger, stronger, faster.
No, I didn't say that. $6 million man.
Easy, father.
But I don't think he's a $6 million man in that I don't think he's going to beat Demetrius Johnson. I don't think that Demetrius Johnson, I mean, anyone can be beat. I don't like to pick who's going to win the fight because you're trying to predict the future for something that you really can't predict. But I think Demetrius is in that zone. Like you saw it with Anderson Silva for a while, where he was just wiping the floor with really talented guys, and you saw it with Ronda Rousey for a stretch. You saw it with George St. Pierre, right? And even should he get beat, like George St. Pierre did in the middle of his
by Matt Serra,
right? He is so good that he will come back. He's in the dominant portion, the height of his career, and he may go a little bit higher, but you're watching the Tom Brady of MMA, even though they're doing everything they can to get in his way.
I agree. Real quick, producer Robert, I know we're trying to get sponsors so that we could pay for this show, but is there any particular reason why we can't have the air on? Because I am sweating big time.
It sounds like a 737. I know you turned it off
in the building. I know when you turned it off when we first came in.
Maybe if you sit down in that minivan downstairs with the girls parked in front in that red zone, she's got the AC brewing. She's got her little Wi-Fi thing going on. You can sit there. Yeah, you could probably do the show from there. I'm sure she's got her own friggin' cam sitting there going, "Oh, I'm putting my makeup on."
We could do a live show outside to get some air. Thank you, Robert. I'm just to get a little bit of air in there. First of all, Delo was lucky that he came late because, of course, our resident man over here, John Dondo, literally split his ass and let air out right in the heat lamp or whatever, which came directly to me or whatever. So, anyways,
my good morning kiss.
Real quick before we continue, you're here at Full Contact Fanatics. Got Adrian Yanez coming up any minute now. I got Dando to my left. I got John Delo sitting to my right. Talking a little bit about TJ Dillashaw against Demetrius Johnson. It remains to be seen what happens. We'll see. Now, real quick before we get Adrian, we were talking about this before John came. Nick Newell made a comeback. If anybody who doesn't know, Nick Newell is the fighter who has, for lack of a better term, a stump for a right arm. Now, I've seen him fight in person. They had World Series of Fighting in Vegas, and we actually went out there to see him.
I've seen him fight.
He doesn't do bad. If he gets close, gets on the ground, he's choked quite a few people out. Was gone for a little while, came back, had his victory at LFA Friday, but now he's
going. Has he fought in the UFC yet?
No, he's saying he should be in the UFC. He's saying I should be in the UFC, and I should. He lost in World Series of Fighting. I can't remember
I've seen him
who he lost to, but it's not like he gets killed. He does do really well. I personally don't think he's ready for the UFC as of yet, but let's take this to Delo. I mean, I couldn't fight with a stump. I mean, that's it. But since you've had it your whole life, I'm assuming that you get used to it, and I guess that other hand is just so strong that you could use that to. I mean, can you try to give us some insight on that?
He doesn't know any different, right? He spent his whole life, and maybe in an alternate universe, there's a bunch of people with one arm or one hand on that arm, and then if we went there, they would look at us all crazy. What are you gonna do with 2 hands? But that's all we know, right?
Did you put that picture up, Robert?
So
they looked at it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was cool. Robert did have it up.
What do I think about it? If he wants to fight, he has the right to fight. I've seen his fights. I don't want to get death threats.
Right. You
But
gotta walk a fine line.
I do have my opinion on how some of those World Series of Fighting fights were, and not on the organization as a whole, but on those specific fights.
Yeah.
I think I wish him luck. I mean, as long as he's getting his breaks based on his merits and not on the fact that he's an inspiring story, right? There's a zillion inspiring stories. You can tell anyone's story and make it inspiring. But if he's beating people and he's winning and moving on up, then by all means. And if you want, from a promoter's point of view, though, if I'm putting a fight together and I got a one-armed guy and he's capable, he's capable, I'm gonna be like, yeah, come on in. If he gets beat, he gets beat.
Right.
If he wins, hey, we're gonna put him in again. So it's a win-win situation for everybody except Nick Newell, where if he gets in there with someone who is maybe just put him in, let him fight.
Yeah.
If he's earned it, he's earned it.
I think he has. I mean, he's probably had to work twice as hard as anybody else. So, but we'll see what happens. Sean Shelby or whatever, if you want to give him a shot, let us know. Now, before we continue on, he was talking about World Series of Fights, and also he was talking about nobody knows what's going to happen in a fight. On that same card that we went to in the World Series of Fighting, they put this kid named Angel Crystal Dianda against Tyrone Spong.
Yes, I remember.
And when I saw that, Sergio was with me, and I said, this kid is going to die. Tyrone Spong, I think it was maybe his first or second match where he came from the kickboxing world into the world of MMA. Big, muscular dude, Angel, he was in shape, but not, and I thought, oh, my God. But he lasted the full 3 rounds. With his boxing, he was moving. He was catching a lot on the arms.
This Angel Cat also looked like he had just got off a bar stool.
Yeah, but he did well. I thought he was going to get killed.
He survived.
I thought he was going to get blown out of there. He didn't get blown out of there. He managed to make the fight a 3-round snooze fest.
It was 30-27. It was 30-27. But at the whole time, I just thought it's going to be over any second. It's going to be over, but it didn't. So it just goes to show that regardless of how bad you are or whatever, you never know what's going to happen. So I thought, what's happened? Did Tyrone Spong become a coach now or something?
I don't know. But
I just remember, I got the tickets for free, and I still felt ripped off by Tyrone Spong.
Was that the one that was the one?
It was at the Ontario, the place where they run the King of the Kids shows. Yeah,
you're right. Vegas, I was wrong.
This guy, Angel, they put him in there to get blown out. They put him in there to get blown out, and he didn't get blown out. He hung in there and he dragged the whole fight.
Cough on him.
I'm sorry.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, but I thought that was.
I'm a germaphobe.
Remember we were telling him to do boogaloo shrimp at the
yeah.
I thought because he goes.
That's one of those tics that he has.
That's okay.
He's got a little bit of autism.
He probably thought his old lady was coming to kill him.
I thought either somebody was at the door, he was bringing a plane in, or flying something. Man,
he's doing some semaphore.
She's gonna take us all out, actually. So don't wish for that.
While we wait for Adrian Yanez to come in, we're doing a little bit of news.
So Tyrone Spong, I was happy not to have to see Tyrone Spong fight in MMA again.
Yeah,
like I said, I got those tickets for free, and we had really good seats, and I still felt ripped off by him. That kid Angel, he hung in tough. He had no chance, and he proved it. So the World Series of Fighting, I really want to see that. Are they still doing shows?
No, I think they've I don't think they've completely are out of the game, but they've I think they might be.
Haven't seen anything in a while.
They're more like a Little League World Series of Fighting?
Something like that. I think they've merged or whatever.
It was here at one point, a couple of years ago, and then it just hasn't happened.
Well, can you, Robert? Can you do us a favor and call Ray Cephal and ask him what's going on?
That guy's actually a pretty cool cat.
I've had him on. I've had him on at Extreme Couture. Yeah. Robert has him on speed dial.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
Quite a few people.
My favorite thing is when he told Paul Harris, right? Ruediger Paul Harris. He's all, there you go. Here's your championship belt. Now get the fuck out. Did you see? Have you seen that? It tells him. Oh, it's awesome. I was like, right on. Because he was mad because he
kept the heel hook on or whatever.
He's known
tried
for
to
that.
Kill somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, but just the way he told him, "Here you go, congratulations." Now get the fuck.
Did you see Husamar Palhares against Gary Lee Tonin?
Yes, I did.
Dude,
it was a grappling match.
Man, he put it on him or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that was. I thought he was. And again, I thought he was gonna get killed because Palhares with the big legs. And,
No.
Dude,
Gary
he put it
Tonin's
on
in.
him. That dude's legit.
Yeah.
But anyways, as we wait for Adrian Yanez to call in, who was supposed to call in at 7:15, we'll continue
It's
on
in a
with
different
the news.
time zone. It's okay.
We
It
again,
happens.
we
Aren't
talked.
we supposed to call them?
No, they call in because they have to be on a specific.
Got to be able to attach
type of
that
thing,
call.
yeah, so we can get their
see.
picture up here.
Quite all
Now
right.
we talked a little bit about this too on the show. Jose Aldo contract is done.
Is it?
We said, well, what's next for him or whatever. I think it was Aaron who said that she thought that he should go to Bellator.
Why hasn't Jose Aldo ever fought the white dude again, Conor McGregor?
The white dude?
Yeah.
I don't know. They never made that rematch.
Because he went down quick.
Because he won't.
He just Jose Aldo doesn't
Yeah,
want
he
to fight
walks
him.
away
or
from it.
Conor
Yeah, they've
doesn't?
offered it.
Oh really?
Oh,
Yeah.
have they really?
They've talked about it. I don't think Jose Aldo will take it.
Robert, can you call Dana, see what's going on with that? We want to know what's happening.
What do you think, Robert?
And it was the opposite. It's Jose wants the rematch.
And Conor doesn't.
Yeah, Conor went on to bigger pays.
Yeah.
Like Mayweather and
understand.
Why
all that
not?
Stuff, yeah.
The world's,
And I don't even think he needs-
what do they call it? The world's biggest boondoggle.
Yeah, and I don't even think he needs to fight anymore if he doesn't
Well,
want
he
to.
hasn't.
But anyways, so
There's evidence of this.
Yeah. So when they talked to him, he said his contract's up. He does not know if he's going to re-sign or not, but he does want to fight Jeremy Stevens. But with us right now, I don't know if he can hear us as we were going into talking about Jose Aldo. On the line with us right now, Adrian Yanez. Adrian, can you hear me, my friend?
Yeah, I can hear you guys fine. Can you guys hear
All
me?
right.
Hey, it's good that we finally got you on. The last time we had you on, we were talking away and we couldn't hear what he's
Looking good today. I love
Yeah,
it.
now we got you nice and clear.
It was my phone. It was my phone.
Oh, okay. Do you have track phone like our producer Robert? Pay as you go.
The Kmart phone.
I did. Now I have a better phone.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, Robert, if he needs a card, hook him up, bro. We need.
Don't
to
let
get
him
that
give
out.
you crap about your phone. I happen to know for a fact that he has a rotary dial on his cell phone.
Hey, it's old school. I never have to worry about dropping a call. But real quick before we continue, you're here at Full Contact Fanatics. I got Dondo with me, John Dello, and on the line with us right now, Adrian Yanez. Adrian, now, how long ago was it that you actually went to Thailand? Did you go out there specifically to train, or did you have a fight out there? Tell us a little bit about that.
I was there I left for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I left, what was it? I've been gone for about 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there to do volunteer work, actually. I went to volunteer in the slums of Bangkok with an organization called Jesus for Slum Kids. And we were there just teaching English and the kids that are orphans and just running around, no parents and nothing like that, man. Around
Just
drugs
running the
and-
streets?
That's what orphans
Yeah,
do.
so they're just kind of running the slums.
Wow.
And so what I did was, he needed money. He says, hey, we need money to help with the kids. We need money. Just the poverty over there was different, man. A lot of these kids are on drugs. I mean, I had a 6-year-old kid come up with me. He had a cigarette in his mouth, and he was, So his sister's 12 years old, and she's a prostitute, and she's the one that has custody of him. So it's crazy, man. A lot of people don't know that. They go to Thailand for vacation, and they don't know how bad it really is, especially when they go to the slums.
Yeah, because
So,
I saw you on your Facebook page. It seemed like you were training one day and then you were helping out one day. It seemed like it kind of. So did you stay at the facility and then head out during the day to go help some of these kids, or how'd that work?
No, so actually what I did was I volunteered. I was only going for 2 weeks. I ended up staying for like 2 months, volunteered for a month in the slums. And then I figured I'm going to extend my stay. How am I going to make money for these kids or help raise money?
Right.
And I thought, what if I just take a fight? So I went up to Chiang Mai and I actually just stayed at a gym up there, started training. And they said, hey, we have rooms for you guys fighters if you want to come and train and fight. So I figured I might as well take a fight while I'm there, raise a little bit of money, and kind of help the kids out in the slums. And so that's pretty much what happened. So I was posting videos of me training and then the kids in the slums kind of back to back. So it was unplanned. I didn't go there to fight.
Tell us how that fight went.
I actually fought 4 times in a month.
Did you fight in Lumpini?
So I fought at Kuila. I fought at I fought in the country one time for the Queen's birthday, man. The country was it was crazy. I was on the corner. 22 fights that night, and I was on the corner that fought.
Well,
that was probably the hardest fight I got.
Well, real quick for the people that are listening to us, because we're running up against the clock. Because there's a big difference in Muay Thai fights in Thailand, Muay Thai fights out here, or like in Holland or whatever, which is more K1. So real quick, tell us a little bit about the difference, because there's guys out there in Thailand that have up to 120 fights or whatever. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the training is different. The training is hard. You do pad work every day. Spar every day, but the sparring is different. It's controlled. It's not like out here in America where people try to knock your head off. Over there, it's more technical and they work different things. And out here in America, man, it's watered down. The fights are what, 3-minute rounds.
Right.
In Thailand, every fight, amateur to pro, is 5 3-minute rounds, and full rules Muay Thai, no gear, nothing. So it's crazy. I won all 4 fights. I knocked everybody out. It was different, man.
So continuing the training out there, you're gonna take a few fights out here, or would you just now that you had your 4 fights out there, you good with that? You're gonna start doing working on doing some work with the kids, or do you plan? Because what is it? Is it Lion Fights that's out here in Vegas?
Yeah, we got Lion
something
Fights.
like that.
Lion Fights.
Cutting out, Robert.
You guys hear me?
A little. Yeah, go ahead.
We got you.
Okay. Yeah, no, they said that the fights were overbooked. You don't hear me?
Yeah,
At Lion Fights?
Yeah, overbooked.
Did you say the fights?
At Bellator Kickboxing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's originally when I came back to fight on Bellator, and they said the fights were overbooked, and so I was kind of all right. So I contacted Glory Kickboxing. I contacted a bunch of different organizations, but it's a little different to get fights out here than it is in Thailand. Thailand, they fight 6 days a week, so you can fight 6 days a week.
That's amazing,
Yeah.
and it's such a difference out there. Well, you know what?
There's the bureaucratic red tape that we have out here that slows everyone down, right?
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, it's you've seen it already. You probably had to deal with. Have you fought here in the States?
MMA, not in Muay Thai.
Okay, well, you professionally, right?
Yeah.
All right, you remember all the rigmarole you had to go through with your testing, with your CAT scan, and and then you had to get your license and you had to get your blood test. Did you do it here in California?
Yeah, I did here in California, man. It actually
In San Pedro,
the
you
MRI
had to go
alone
through the
was.
test?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
most
ridiculous, man. It's hard for everybody.
keep going. Because
It's expensive. It's expensive.
Yeah.
I've gone on huge tirades, and I'm about to go on another one after you're off the air about how the state athletic commissions, especially here in California, has killed pro MMA. It's killed pro kickboxing pretty much, right? And it's got pro boxing on life support only because of it's been grandfathered in. But there's no way anybody but the state makes money off of these shows, and that's why you see them on Indian reservations and stuff,
it's like
and
a
casinos
job
on
for
Indian
them.
reservations.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
And that's why you get people fighting overseas.
Yeah, that's what we're just gonna say. That a lot of people who go overseas now, real quick, because we're running up against the clock now. You live in Hollister, right?
Yeah, Hollister, California.
Now, do you ever come out this way? Because I would definitely like to get you in the studio. There's so much that I would like to talk about as far as Muay Thai and stuff like that. So when you gonna come out this way anytime soon, or?
I actually might be going down there this next weekend.
Okay, well let me know, because we can even come to
I have
you
a question,
and do a live show. So go ahead, let Dillo ask this question. Go for it.
Thank you.
Well, only because 7:30 we got another guest.
Okay, well, I wanted to know if you could tell me the difference, not so much in the ring and how the fight themselves went, but the difference between the crowds in the U.S., right, or even in Europe versus the crowds and the action that goes on in Thailand in the crowds that are watching these Muay Thai fights. What can you tell us the differences and the similarities?
Well, like when I found the country, everybody was, and there's there had to be at least over 100 people all next to the ring. They're all betting on you. They're making money because gambling's illegal in Thailand, so the only way to gamble is off the fighters. So, but just the respect for the sport, they know Muay Thai better than anybody else. Like the skill, the technique. They're not there to see someone get knocked out. They want to see your skill level, the appreciation for it, man. I mean, everybody, even the people that aren't fighting, they train Muay Thai their whole lives. Different atmosphere, man.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, if they're not trying to kill you, so they'll tell you like, hey, man, on a good show, we'll have you fight again tomorrow.
That would never happen out here. Yeah, that's amazing. Well,
I
real
fought
quick,
twice in a week and a half. It's like,
yeah, and if you can't do that here, because don't they? If you get a certain knockout or whatever, that you're suspended for 30 days or something. You'll
get suspended for 6 months, even on having a tough fight, even if you win.
Amazing. No wonder they have 120 fights. Well, anyways, real quick, since we're running up against the clock, can you give us that do you still have the GoFundMe thing going for the kids out there?
Yeah, I do have a GoFundMe. Yeah.
Go for it.
The reason I did the GoFundMe is because when I got paid in Thailand, I only got paid about $100 a fight.
Oh,
and I was fighting full rules Muay Thai. Yeah, and out here, I do a program for kids, at-risk youth, to keep them off the streets, and it's a fitness program. And it's hard to get sponsors because I don't promote fighting anymore. I promote what I do with the kids and in the slums of Bangkok. And so people just, turn me down. They say, you need to sell yourself more. I just pretty much told them, I'm not trying to sell myself. I'm not a prostitute. I'm trying to prevent things like that.
Unbelievable. Well, can you give that GoFundMe address real quick so that people can send some stuff out there?
Yes. It's actually Fight to Save Our Children. GoFundMe.com or .org.
Well, can they go to your Facebook page?
Yeah, they can go to the Facebook page and it'll be right on my timeline.
Cool. And send it to us. We'll put it on our stuff, too. We want to put it out there for you.
Yeah, definitely, because I've seen the pictures. I follow Adrian on Facebook, and I've seen the pictures, and especially kids, man. It's hard, especially when you have to leave. When I go to Mexico, when Sergio and I used to go take toys to the kids and all that, you tell them, okay, I got to go now. And they go, well, where are you going? And we're going home. They go, but why? And they really get drawn to you. You know what I mean? So I'm sure that went on out there. Big time.
You get attached, man. I wanted to talk to somebody.
Yeah. Any plans to go back?
I plan to, man. Hopefully next couple months. I'm hoping to fight in Australia and then fight back in Thailand.
Perfect. Hey, man. Well, I hope, we get as much people as we can to contribute to that. And don't forget, if you decide to come down this way or whatever, let myself or Robert know. And we could do a quick 30-minute live show or whatever, just so we can get you in and talk a little more Muay Thai.
Will do. Thank you, guys.
All right, you got it. Adrian Yanez, everybody. Make sure if you want to check him out on Facebook, just put Adrian Yanez in your little search engine. It keeps everybody up to date.
Sawadika.
Yeah.
Sawadika.
All right, Adrian. A million thank yous, bro. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Dude, I couldn't even fathom four fights. Did you say 4 fights in 1 week or 4 fights in 4 weeks?
In a month.
Dude, I couldn't even fathom that. First of all, would never let it go on here. But if you okay, let me just put this.
I fought 4 fights in one night, Bobby.
Well, yeah, but that was in Mexico.
Yeah.
And how old were you?
27.
Yeah, 27 years old, and he was like in tip-top shape, and it was at the.
He's still in tip-top shape. Look at the guy.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm 52 years old. When I was 50, I went to a Korn concert, and I made the mistake of going
Children of the Corn
of going into the mosh pit.
Why would you do that?
Dude, I was happy, and I was getting into it, and I was so sore the next day.
Wait, how old were you when you did this?
50. I was 50.
Well, that's
and I couldn't even get out of bed
because I went with Miguel, and literally I've never hyperventilated in my life.
I got caught up in the moment, dude. Yeah, and then and I had fun, and when
you got in a mosh pit at 50 years old.
I got home. I felt fine. I went to sleep. I went right to sleep.
I
woke up the next day.
You woke up.
And my body, my mind said, okay, time to get up. And my body went,
I like this about you, Fabi.
Dude, my shoulders, my chest. Dude, I was dying the next day. So, let alone fighting a Muay Thai fight and then going and fighting another one within a week or so.
Most guys, when they have a midlife crisis, they go out and buy a sports car. Instead, you had to go get a mosh pit.
I completely went just to go check it out and see it. I've seen them before a long time ago.
You're friends with those guys, yeah?
Well, Kevin Lineman is the main guy for Golden Voice. Who, when I used to work at the Forum, I used to do some work for them at the Palladium and stuff like that. Yeah. So when he said, "Hey, dude, we're gonna have a little intimate thing at the Palladium, won't you come down?
Porn or corn?
Won't you come down?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, let's go." And they made the mistake, couldn't get up the next day. But real quick, on the line with us right now, after we got finished with Adrian Yanez,
it looks like someone's feet.
Gabe Ruediger. Gabe, can you hear me, my friend?
Yeah, but I'm getting the wrong side of the camera.
Well, that happens. I'm just glad you have your pants on there, Chief.
There's a button with the camera. If you push that one, I think it'll flip it around, right?
I'm thankful, too. Yeah, but it's the way that I'm in the BMX.
I love it.
Hold on a moment.
He's in a BMX moment? Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
Well, no, he's probably wearing his BMX pajamas, like, the ones with the motorcycles.
Oh, somebody's running out the room. No wonder the camera's all backwards.
He's looking for a mirror is what he's doing. Aren't you?
You're looking at my dogs.
Well, that's a pretty dog.
Yeah, it is a pretty dog.
That's a good-looking dog, Gabe.
Damn good-looking dog.
That dog's way too big.
It's a big dog.
That dog's living well. He's indoors and on his own little...
What kind of dog is that? Marmaduke?
That is a Labradino.
There you go.
Labradino?
It's a
130 pounds.
Great Santino. 130 pounder.
Dude.
135.
That's bigger than most TIE fighters.
Yeah, that's
Damn right
that's,
it is.
that's Demetrius Johnson weight or whatever. So Gabe, can you still hear us?
I can hear you just fine.
All right, well, real
Are
quick.
you really Gabe Ruediger, or did Gabe just skip us again and give the camera to someone else? Did you give it to Thor? Is that Thor
Is that what it
Skansky right
is?
there holding the mic?
And he's got the voice changer.
He's camera shy. It's
Oh
okay.
my god.
No, I just don't know how to, like, the way the camera worked. I tried to turn the front and back, and it wouldn't work.
Okay, how about go to the bathroom mirror and just stand in front of the mirror?
Hand
so
it to the young
we can
lady.
see
Maybe
that.
she'll hold.
Oh, there
it.
you go. Hey, now it is Gabe Ruediger.
Yeah,
I
it is.
didn't think it was.
This is hilarious, actually.
Real quick before we continue, for the people listening, just you're here, you have Full Contact Fanatics. We're going to be talking to Gabe Ruediger. I got Dando sitting to my left
Yes,
and John
sir.
Delo sitting to my right. Gabe Ruediger. First of all, real quick before we continue, I got to tell you, when they said Gabe Ruediger was coming on, I got a lot of emails and a lot of messages because the last time we had him on, it's when they had the on the mat. They had a big signing, everything. Gabe was. I had been trying to get him on for a long time, and we went back and forth. And when I had him on the air, I said, "We finally get you." And he goes, "Finally," he said, "You've been calling me 4 or 5 times, and you never showed up." So we finally got him talked then, and that's when he was getting a lot of flack from the Ultimate Fighter, and we talked about that, and we talked about laying naked by the pool and all that stuff. And then we had the grand opening for CMMA for
Yep.
Chad
Yep.
George CMMA. Sorry about
A couple
that.
years back.
And that's when I actually got to see Gabe do some jiu-jitsu. They had some belt promotions, and I finally got to see him roll and stuff like that. So now that we finally got him here, talk a little bit about what you've been doing since between then. Because now have you actually opened your own school?
Yeah, I've had Kaiju MMA for a little over 4 months.
Uh-huh. Did you say 4 months?
I think so. 4 months. He opened it a little. It's Kaijutsu. Kaijutsu.
Kaiju?
Kaiju, MMA, and fitness.
What does kaiju mean?
Kaiju is a big monster in Japanese.
Gotcha. Kaiju.
Robert is kaiju.
Kaiju
If
and
you
MMA
know,
fitness.
my name, my nickname in MMA is Godzilla.
Right.
Godzilla is the king of the kaiju.
Ah, perfect. Now, have you had a grand opening for this new place yet, or are you just silent opening, or are you just working?
We had a grand opening January 27th. Penny McAleish coming to his webinar. It was
Right.
a great time. Had a lot of people there.
Okay, because I don't know if you know or not, but we have a little show here called Gym Crashers. If you see my man Dando sitting to
That's
my
right.
left, him and Miguel actually go out. Did you go to Gabe's?
We haven't been to games. We'd love to come up.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
They're afraid. I get
Now,
it.
here's the thing. Now, do you actually have a 6 a.m. jiu-jitsu class?
I'm up.
We do.
Okay, well, I would love to have Dando and
6
Miguel,
a.m.?
and
I
Miguel
am
come
up.
down to the 6 a.m. class.
I
Do you
will be
actually
there.
do
Roll
you
on
teach
over.
that one?
I'll be there.
Right
Nope,
on.
Hell no.
I am up that early. Thank you. That's why it's tough to
I
see
have
the
a-
show.
So he's a fighter, not a mailman. Hell.
Retired
So-
fighter.
So
Better
who
than
actually
anything.
teaches the 6 a.m. class?
My newest black belt, Adrian from New York.
Right. Okay, you good with
Oh,
that?
I'm good with
6
that.
a.m.?
Absolutely. I'll
Well, I
come
think
up.
Gabe can make one day and come
I'm
down
in.
at 6 a.m.
I'm in.
You come, I will be there for sure.
Right
Okay.
on. I appreciate that. We'll talk.
Okay, perfect. So
Wait, aren't you like way up in Tarzana or someplace like that?
That's not far, John.
Yeah. It's not that
Well, that's
far,
what-
John.
That's
Only-
not that far.
It's only like
It's-
5 minutes from me.
But that's what I'm saying, because if you guys leave at 5 a.m., there's not that much
I'll
traffic.
stay in Tarzana
And you
and go
can make-
visit him 5 minutes away.
Yeah, perfect.
We'll get
Yeah, see, that's make a day of it. Exactly.
on.
See, now he knows what I'm talking
Love
about.
it.
So we'll
My
definitely
dog.
Right on.
we'll definitely do that. Definitely like to get them down there so they can check it out, because I talk a lot about this with John Delo. A lot of people are intimidated when they say, you know what, I want to take jiu-jitsu, but they're a little intimidated.
Sure, you
they're
see it all
kind
the
of
time.
afraid to go. They say, well, and then they see like Gabe Ruediger and those people, and they're doing all these moves and stuff like that. They get a little intimidated. So that's why we have Gym Crashers, so they can go to your gym. And then they'll see, man, hey, this is pretty cool. It's a family atmosphere.
Yeah.
We did it with Delos.
Yeah.
We did it all over the place.
It's a myth buster, right?
Exactly. Now, do you find that at all? I mean, take us through the process if somebody wants to come down and take a class.
Well, you have to sign away your firstborn, and you have to cut your hand off.
Give a pint of blood.
And once you've done a blood oath, then you're able to come in. You At
Right.
that point, no. But it's look, we are very family oriented. We're very for community. I have 30 students already, and every person is a part of the family.
Yeah, that's what they kind of preach, the family atmosphere for that particular reason. Now, real quick for the people listening to us, you're here, you have Full Contact Fanatics. We're talking to Gabe Ruediger, talking a little bit about Kaiju, MMA, and fitness. 6 a.m. jiu-jitsu class if you want to, because there is a lot of people who actually work and would like to take a 6 a.m. class. They can still come home and shower and be at work by 9 o'clock. Exactly.
We have friends that do it.
Yeah.
Tommy's class does it. Anthony Renteria does it.
Yeah,
I would do it in a heartbeat because I'm up.
Yeah, not like
the last time I got up at 5 in the morning was the last time I get up at 5 in the morning. No.
Yeah, that's
You're welcome too. You're welcome too, John.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I will come to your 6 a.m. class when you come to my 9 p.m. class.
Done.
Oh,
I'll
great.
Switch. I have no problem.
All right. Well, I'll come the next day.
Yeah, because that's Delo. He says, if you ever call me before 11 o'clock, I swear to God, I will choke you to death or whatever. So go ahead, Robert.
Hey, what's up, Gabe? I'm not on cam, but I had a question. Recently, there was a post that went out that you put, and I think you got into some words with another dojo owner. What happened with that?
Yeah, so I don't know who the guy is. But he was saying that, he put this blanket statement about how, if you're a pro fighter and you fight the very next day, you should be back in the gym and you be committed. And I understand that. After the fact, I think he was talking about the guys that only come in for fight camp, and I agree with that. But as a former pro that put a lot of time and effort into it, when you put a 2-month time in camp, you take time away from your family, you take time away from your friends. A week to 2 weeks to kind of recover and recoup is not common.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And especially if you fought and left it all in the ring. I mean, there were times when I had to. It was my own personal bit. It's my dojo, and I had to drag myself in there the week after, the days after. I mean, I would take certainly the next day. And the reality is, maybe not in the bigger shows, but you've been to some of the smaller shows. I will quarantine someone after they fought because I don't want them bringing ringworm or staph into the dojo either. You know what I mean? Because that does happen.
I had a fight where for 2 weeks I couldn't eat solid food afterwards. Don't talk to me about going to the gym, going to put time in. But anyway, so I disagree with what the guy was saying. And instead of having conversation and talking points, he got really pissed off and started, making personal attacks, and it was really
well, I could beat that. I could beat that because I'm 52 now, but when I was 50, I went to a Korn concert. I don't know if you're listening before we came on, and I made the mistake of going in the mosh pit.
Jesus.
And I was sore.
What does that?
I'm just saying,
that is
man. Was this guy
irrelevant.
if you get in there,
Gabe, put it like that.
That's what happens.
Gabe, was this guy's?
There's nothing similar. Other similarities in life. You're fighting professionally.
I'm just trying to relate somehow because I get choked out by 8-year-olds at the Delo kids class. So I was trying to.
What was this guy's name? Brandon Anderson?
Brandon Anderson.
Our mutual friend.
It's actually funny is this guy. What he was mad about is I asked him if he had any pro fights because I didn't know who he was at all. But apparently he has 0 pro fights, and he's really, really upset about being one of those coaches that gets called out for not fighting professionals. I didn't know that. Before, again, I just saw his blanket post, and I disagreed with it. And instead of having conversation and explaining his reasoning, he just got personal. And I thought it was very unprofessional.
Dude, does that happen a lot?
Do we know who this cat was?
No, not really.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do we know this guy?
I had no idea who he was at the time, but I know who he is now.
Who is he?
And the worst part is I was like, listen, why don't you give me a call? We'll talk about this. And let's work this out. Let's be men. Let's be professionals. Let's be martial artists. And he just blocked me from social media.
Well, maybe he's just looking to get some fame or something.
What's his? Do you know his name, Robbie? Because I know Gabe probably doesn't want to throw him under
No,
the
I've
bus.
heard he's been talking about it, but
Robert
I don't know
knows
who he's talking about. So
Because he doesn't deserve
the
any extra
publicity.
Will that give him extra pub, or will it just make him angry? Because I'll say it if it's just going to make it angry.
Yeah, I don't want to give him any publicity or whatever. Well,
yeah, honestly, I don't even talk about how he doesn't deserve it. And at some point, I'll talk to him. It's going to be face to face. It's not going to be the same conversation we have over.
Oh, absolutely. Exactly. That's going to be a way different conversation. That happens a lot.
Good man.
Well, hey, Gabe, I got to tell you, man, it's good to have you on to talk about things like that, because that's what we have it here, so you can kind of air it out or whatever. I'm definitely going to, unfortunately, again, running up against the clock, but I'm going to definitely have Gym Crashers come out there.
We would love it.
6 a.m. if we can get Delo up and get you up and get everybody over there. We'll see, because the more, the better.
Damn.
All right, perfect.
We'll make a day of it.
Well, real quick, Gabe, the Kaiju MMA and Fitness, can you give that address and phone number real quick for the people that are watching, if they want to come check it out?
And a quick rundown of your class times.
Yes.
Well, we're open 7 days a week. We're open at 6 a.m. and we go till 9 p.m. every night.
Woo.
Well, not Saturday, Sunday, but Monday through Friday. We've got kickboxing, we've got MMA, we've got fitness. We've got a solid jiu-jitsu team. 18851 Ventura Boulevard, beautiful Tarzana, California.
Yeah.
Our number is 818-1119.
One more time?
Okay, one more time?
Yeah.
818-231-1119.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. And Robert's putting everything behind us so that they could check that out. And if you want to follow Gabe on Facebook, I follow him too. Puts a lot of stuff up there. He's got a lot of live videos, showing some of the training and stuff like that. So
live videos we've been shooting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
good stuff.
Yeah, if you want to check them out, you could check that out too. So again, Gabe, a million thank yous for coming on. We appreciate it. Hopefully, we can get Gym Crashers down there to go check that out.
We're in it,
and let everybody see for themselves or whatever. We'll get him up. He talks a good game, but if we talk to him, he'll get up and go. As long as we drive, as long as you don't have to drive, we're good. So we'll definitely do that.
I'll tell you this: if John comes, I guarantee you I'll come to his stream as well.
Perfect.
Well, that's because he wants to break my hip.
Make a day of it. We'll have breakfast in the whole 9 yards. Can we bring Thor Skansky? Is that?
I don't know what Thor's up to, man. I haven't seen him in some time. He's been just enjoying lifting weights.
All right, Gabe.
And he's making strides on gun disarms and whatnot.
Yes. That man.
All I know is, since I've watched this video, I haven't been shot. So,
all right, Gabe. Hey, man, a million thank yous. Thank you for walking over to the mirror so that we can actually see it was you.
Yeah.
Don't forget, if you want to check out Kaiju MMA and Fitness, you can check that out. Or if you want to check out Gabe himself, just put your Gabe Ruediger in your little Facebook search engine. He keeps everybody up.
How do you spell Ruediger, Gabe?
R-U-E. Everyone always forgets the E for some reason. D like Delta, I, G like Golf, E-R.
Got it.
Gabe Ruediger.
All right, Gabe Ruediger. Hey, man,
no Y in
things.
Gabe. It's G-A-B-E.
G-A-B.
There's no Y.
It's
Gabe. Not G-A-Y-B-E. It's G-A-B-E.
No Y.
No, that's another...
All right, Gabe. Hey, man, again, thanks a lot. Hopefully, we'll come see you soon, my man. Get Gym Crashers out there.
Thank you, buddy.
Everybody.
Hey, take care and good luck on the fatherhood thing like we talked about.
Oh, man, that's the best part of life.
I got you.
All right, Gabe.
All right, gentlemen.
Peace.
Have a good night.
All right, good, Robert.
It amazes me the number of people that John Delo has talked to, touched hands with, fought,
off,
argued with. And as I enter the world of MMA in any capacity, his name is out there.
Yeah.
Well,
we've had him on a couple times on the other show, and he caught so much slack for the Ultimate Fighter. But when he came on, he talked about it and said, there's so many people trying to make a name for themselves and stuff like that. So everybody was a tough guy and all that. So it was pretty cool. And then
I'm not sure exactly. He's the one that was having trouble cutting weight. Right. Is that what that was all about? I didn't watch that after the first. I watched the first episode of the second season, and I was like, you know what? These guys are no.
Well, BJ Penn was the coach,
right?
And he was trying to make the weight. He was close, and then he got so completely dehydrated he had to get IVs and stuff like that.
Right.
But before the ambulance came, he was just laid out butt naked by the pool. So BJ comes and he sees him and he goes, "Well, what is this? National Geographic? What are we doing in here?
It's good TV.
Cutting weight is hard.
He
Really
caught some flack for that. But anyway, so, hey, props to him for coming on. Now, we'll continue with the news real quick. A couple things I want to, especially when we have John Delo in the house, I want to go through them. Now, for some reason, I don't know why these people just decide to choose particular people, but I guess Luke Rockhold has been calling out Gustafson.
Hey, it's only almost 8 o'clock. Sure. You said we were up against
Damn, we got another hour?
Yeah.
So
says you.
He said,
look.
I'm up at 5 a.m. I'm out.
So since
we're on Hawaiian time.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, always.
No wonder with the Samoano over there, he thinks we're in Hawaii. But
that's right.
So
Baby Godzilla.
Luke Rockhold calls out Gustafson, and Gustafson says, "I'll be more than happy to fight the glass-jawed Luke Rockhold."
Sure.
Good.
Now, real quick, take it around the horn. We'll even go to Robert. I think Gustafson would do some damage to Luke Rockhold. We'll start with Donda. What do you think?
It's a challenge. Yeah, there's some differences in arm length and height, everything. Yeah, so we'll see.
So why did he call him out?
I guess that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think he figures, well, since I didn't win this fight, maybe if I call out Gustafson, that will give me,
Wait, he lost and then called someone out?
Yeah, he lost to Yoel Romero.
Yeah, that's right.
That's just a few weeks ago.
What? That's just bad form.
So he's calling out.
That was
He's
just
calling
a few
out
weeks ago.
Gustafson.
No, look, okay, I'm going to put all my money on Gustafson, right?
Yeah.
Only because someone isn't smart enough to or humble enough to say, okay, I lost my fight. I'm going to take a moment and then I'm going to go to the powers that be and ask for a fight with Gustafson. But,
when Robert takes off the headphones, you know it's serious.
They're fighters, not jet propulsion engineers.
Now, what happened was originally Luke Rockhold, after his loss, said that he's thinking about going to 205.
So he wants to go right in the deep end.
Then Gustafson went out first and said, I don't think you should do that. He started talking stuff. I'll be waiting right here for you at the gate. And then now Luke Rockhold.
Well, then there you go, man. I mean, if he's going to talk that stuff, then Rockhold's not going to back down, especially if that's a good fight for him or a big fight for him.
It's a bad matchup.
I would think so.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. So we can all agree that Gustafson more than likely is going to do some damage.
He's going to manhandle it.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go with Rockhold.
Okay, good.
Just because.
Just because you want to go against the grain.
Pretty much.
Okay, great. Now, I don't know if any of you guys heard this. Tyron Woodley said he would be more than happy to coach Floyd Mayweather in MMA. He says if he coaches Floyd Mayweather in MMA, he thinks he could easily, not just defeat, but easily defeat Conor McGregor. What do you think?
It's a money grab.
I think that is probably a very smart thing for Tyron Woodley to do, right? You're gonna put a zillion eyeballs on you, and you're gonna probably be able to get some of that funny money out of that backpack that Mayweather lugs around, right? Now, as far as being able to have any effective, it's not going to happen. You are not. Okay. Floyd is what, 42 years old, something like that?
I think so.
Okay, and the closest he's come to a real fight outside of the ring is when he smacked his old lady around a few times, right? So no. Just like I said, he was gonna knock the hell out of
Paul White.
No,
the giant from WWE.
No, Conor McGregor. So too will I say that whomever he fights in the cage will knock the shit out of him. And it doesn't have to be Conor McGregor. It could be John Arredondo. Yes.
CM Punk.
No way.
Well, except for CM Punk. Except for CM Punk.
Why don't you just make it a carnival or whatever and get a carnival?
You know what?
That
would actually work. I would put that together. And you want to get some heavy betting on either side? That's what would happen because. You'd have this argument and you'd have that argument, and whereas everyone who may have learned from watching Conor McGregor get his ass served on a silver platter to himself, everyone who saw that would be hopefully smart enough to say, hey, I don't think that Floyd is going to get his jab off quite quick enough to beat whomever in the cage, but put him in there with CM Punk.
There must be something wrong with me. He would destroy CM Punk.
Have
you seen CM Punk's boxing?
He takes him to the ground. We're not talking about boxing, right?
He would have to close the distance and get him to the ground.
Well, that's what martial arts is.
It takes a lot of time to learn how to change levels, get the timing to shoot on someone.
Well, he's a wrestler, though. Does he not bring some of that?
That kind of may not be the best fighter in the world.
Not that kind of bump.
He may or may not have been a great pro wrestler, all right? However, he is not stupid, right? He knows that no matter how hard he trains those hands of his, no matter how many times he kicks the tie bag, right? If you do not put the much smaller man, much older man on his back, you are not going to win this fight.
Wow.
Period.
The same thing happened to himself.
And if he doesn't know that, you tell him to call me, and we'll make sure he knows it. All right? I will let...
Tell Duke Rufus to send him over here.
I will, yes. CM Punk, give me a call. All right.
Unbelievable.
Is that not what happened to CM Punk in his first MMA debut?
Oh, he trained every day for 2 years.
And he didn't get one punch off.
Right through him. It was amazing.
He got mounted. He got ground and pounded.
He was still waiting to hear what the finish was going to be.
I know. I was waiting for Vince to come and tell him he's going over. So remains to be seen. But like he said, people will want to see it. They'll pay to see it.
Oh, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with wanting to see it, right?
We'll see what happens.
But trying to predict it. I mean, he's way too small for CM Punk, though, right?
Yeah, CM Punk's
I would. You know what? If I was in charge of the world, I would make that fight. Absolutely.
I'm sure they're tossing it around. Go ahead, Robert.
What do you guys think about that new weight class that Conor McGregor is trying to put in, the 165?
Will never happen.
Oh, I think it might.
I don't think so. I think there's already too many weight classes.
Yeah.
I think to get Conor back and put another belt at 165.
Dude, but what's the difference between fighting 165 and 170?
A belt.
That's 5 pounds.
A first time.
You could be
not a whole lot.
Time belt holder. Or
he'll be a 3-pound belt, three different weight classes.
Why he's doing it.
From a business standpoint, from a promotional standpoint, you now have another belt to promote, another title match to promote, right? So how many divisions are there and how many championships are there now?
There's a
Producer Robert?
35, 45, 55, 70, 85.
205 and heavyweight.
Okay, and now, there's 8, and then the women's. How many is that?
3.
3.
Okay, so
115, 125, 135, and 145.
And what about
4.
and now there's
that's 12.
Something called the interim championships as well, right? How many interim champions are there right now?
Like 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 15. All right. So now with
who's making the money is the belt maker.
With the UFC, right? With the UFC putting on at least one pay-per-view a month, right?
At least.
Okay. You can have 2 championship fights, 2 title belt fights every month. You think about that. Maybe even 3, right? Because you figure a champion's gonna fight maybe twice a year, right?
That sounds like a Christmas. That sounds like a Christmas carol.
So
3 main events, 2 title fights,
and an interim championship.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
He picks up on that quick. I like that.
So
that's why we bring him here.
Yeah.
But
what? So and if your first champion is going to be Conor McGregor, right? Why not? Why the hell not do it? It's bad for it. The optics on it are bad, but for the average fan who doesn't watch our show or doesn't know what's going on, it's another title fight. And let me ask you this: do you remember when Sugar Ray Leonard beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what title they were fighting for?
The welterweight belt.
Which one?
The WBO?
No.
WBA?
See, nobody knows.
The big fat burgundy one.
Nobody knows.
It was the big fat burgundy one.
Nobody knows, right? But they do remember the fight.
Sure.
And that's ultimately what's going to happen. I mean, it'll be a title fight so that they could have it for 5 rounds. And so the money. But that's really what it's going to take to get Conor McGregor in the cage against maybe say Eddie Alvarez or Jose Aldo.
Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
It doesn't end. Well, okay, real quick before we get out of here, because I didn't get to all my news. Does anybody here think that Joanna is not going to beat Namajunas in the rematch?
I think so.
I think she is going to destroy
Rose.
Namajunas.
No, there won't be any destroying.
You say no?
No, it's not going to happen.
Rose
Namajunas.
She brought it to
Rose.
her.
Yes.
Rose.
I just said Namajunas.
I'd like to think that we are on a first name basis because she moved my heart so much in that fight and her behavior afterwards. I will never, ever, ever be so moved by another MMA fighter again in my life.
I agree. She put it on her.
Oh, well, yeah, and just her demeanor after. I just want everyone to know that I'm a good person.
What were you doing at the weigh-in? I was doing the Lord's Prayer. I was just saying the Lord's Prayer.
I don't care. You could put her up against Godzilla.
I think the bald head is a wind reduction thing, and she moves a lot faster.
Yeah, I wish that were true. I'm telling you,
as we sit here, I think Joanna's going to.
She looks good with her bald head.
I think she is. I seriously do. Robert?
I gotta agree with Favi on this one. I'm gonna go with you. I think
we don't know her mental state after that loss.
To come back.
We don't know her mental state after that loss. People get broken.
Okay, here's what I will give you a prediction on that fight because I told you I wouldn't pick against Rose, but I will tell you this. Rose, I love you very much as a human being because you are a good person, right? I think what's going to happen in that fight, I think Joanna is going to go, it's going to go the distance, and Joanna is going to probably pull off a very narrow decision. And then they're going to fight again, and Rose is going to eat her for breakfast.
That's right.
Would you agree?
Like
a trilogy, Robert? If she does beat her?
I don't think so.
Bet the farm.
Because who's left in 115?
Put her on the ground and choke her.
Felice Herring,
right?
Carla Esparza. Those you want to run right through them girls. The Braziliano ladies are close. You know, and I thought for sure
Joanna wouldn't run through Carla Esparza.
Oh, dude, she beat it. She put her in retirement the first fight. Not retirement, but you know, put her on vacation. There's
a big difference between retirement and vacation.
I thought Tisha Torres was going to do damage, and she ran up against that Brazilian chick who
she tore up.
Yeah, who I don't want to say like ran into a buzzsaw with that girl.
Tore up.
So I think it's just between them two. So I think he is correct if she does beat. It's definitely going to be a trilogy. But I think I think it's kind of like a Matt Sarah St. Pierre type of thing. He caught him off guard, and now it's like, dude.
Yeah, I don't think that Joanna is that much on a different level, and that Rose just was a fluke. Because let's be honest, Matt Sarah, George St. Pierre was a fluke, right?
Caught him.
You know, you threw that uptown, was it an overhand right or something like that?
Caught him.
Rose systematically dissected Joanna.
She hit her with a right hand and dropped her back. And Joanna was like, what? And then, boom, she jumped on her.
She cleaned up.
So, this time she's going to be moving and saying,
you know what? I'm going to change my prediction. I'll tell you what. Now that I think
the bets are in.
No, sorry. I think, well, then I'm going to put another bet down on Rose.
Once the bets are in,
Rose is going to beat her down, but she will wear her down and finish her by the third round.
That's right.
How about that?
I like that.
Now, so that's what, is that a
and
week
finish
away?
her on the ground.
2 weeks away?
Yes.
A week away or 2 weeks away? What time you want us over, Robert?
We can meet here.
Can you not say here? But yes, we'll meet.
No, we'll meet here to go to Robert's house, wherever that may be.
We're not going there.
Wherever that may be by the time that fight happens.
Apparently, it's my place.
Actually, we should be.
We can have the fights on my place.
No, well, we should
go to Surf Dogs.
John's on it. We should either be.
Del O is in the mix. Chop Trivia.
We should have.
Oh God.
We should talk to either Cloud9, Venus.
The Cloud9 doesn't exist anymore. They changed it already, so you know.
But we can still talk to them.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, we should invite everybody who watches us to come watch it with us somewhere.
Unfortunately, I'm working nights, so you guys can let me know.
You're not working nights.
Stripping.
I've been working nights.
When did you start working nights?
Friday. He doesn't want to come here anymore.
I went to the quinceañera on Saturday. I left, went home, changed, and went to work.
Why are you working nights?
And I was so full.
Aren't you like 50-something years old?
Yes, I am.
So why are you working nights? You should be like getting ready to retire.
Because my company got bought out by Torrance Memorial. So when I went from this point of the totem pole down to the bottom.
Oh, that sucks.
And that's what happens. So,
hey, can your company sponsor the show?
Sure, no problem.
Why wouldn't they? Give them a plug.
Okay,
plug it.
Torrance Memorial. There's your plug. How about
Torrance
that?
Memorial. Keeping night people shift, employed overnight since 1950.
Yeah, night shift. For some reason, it's all the Mexicans. Hey, I don't want to start no stuff, but it's me, Diana, Reddy, and Nilo. So I don't know what's up with that.
So if you're watching,
we'll see you
on your way to work.
But the good part is Nilo brings a lot of food. So that's the best part. He brings pancet and balut and
balut. Oh, he's Filipino.
A minute ago he called him a Mexican.
Balut? Oh, dude, it's slamming. But
you know what that is?
Oh yeah,
duck embryo.
Yeah, with like half formed.
Have you tried it?
Duck. No.
Don't knock it until you try it.
I'm not gonna eat a half formed
bones and feathers.
You know what? I'll eat that chicken adobo though.
I'm telling you,
all day long.
Can throw down. Yeah. So hopefully we can check it out. We'll talk about that coming up. Or whatever. It's not this weekend. It's the following weekend. This weekend is Fabricio Verdum against Anselmo.
Is he still fighting? He's older than I am.
He's fighting Jepe Moseno Viramontes on Fight Pass. So we'll check that. Maybe we get Aaron Moto in here.
Fabricio Verdum.
Maybe we'll get Aaron in here so she can help break down. Or whatever.
Is she the one girl who knows everything about MMA?
She knows everything.
She watches everything.
She's quite enamored with you as well.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Who can blame her? I mean, look at how cool I am.
I
know that is. So, anyways, for the people watching us here in Full Contact Fanatics, don't forget you can check out.
Why would you say that on the air?
I just happened to notice.
We could check out tomorrow. What's the name of the new show?
Nobody watches. Nobody watches.
It's called the Royal Ramble. Orange County Championship Wrestling presents the Royal
Ramble show on Tuesday.
That is a 1-hour professional wrestling tell-all.
Do you have a guest for
indie? Yes, we do. Both independent wrestling as well as the larger shows, WWF, Ring of Honor, and TNA/Impact.
Who will be your guest? Do you know?
Well, you're just going to have to tune in and find out.
Okay, they will check it out.
I like it.
Wednesday,
Mystery.
we got Gym Crashers. Gym Crashers, anybody in particular
Crashers
coming up?
live. We do have Torion, the Torion the
Torion
Flash Ware.
Yeah, he dude.
He's got a fight coming up, so it's the real thing.
He fought that Irish kid from
he keeps fighting.
Dynamite's thing and gave him a fight, man.
Yeah.
Gave him. It was close.
His name is Sean O'Malley. Are you sure it's not like Patrick O'Brien?
Sean
It's
O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley.
Especially
Seamus O'Rourke.
with,
Baba O'Reilly.
What do you call it? Coming up right, St. Patrick's Day coming up right around the corner. So
Yes,
check
he's
out
going to
Gym
Mexico to fight
Crashers
Jose
on
Sanchez
Wednesday.
and
Now,
Pedro
let me ask you a quick
Rodriguez.
question. Thursday is Tales from the Pole or whatever. Is that the reason for the wet wipes that are on the table?
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Fabi.
Don't lie to me, Robert, because I swear these microphones, if they've got cochinadas on them, I'm gonna be highly upset. So Thursday, Tales from the Pole. Friday, we open. You still doing your Facebook show?
Yeah, no. Friday we're clear. Saturday we're clear.
And don't be fooled
Okay,
into
so-
tuning in to someone's living room couch show where they're stepping.
That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tune
Just
into
making sure you don't
the
get
real
fooled by that
in-studio show
nonsense.
on Tuesday.
Oh, yes, that's
so,
right.
Sunday, we have the Bully Zone.
We have 2 shows. We have
Okay.
the Bully Zone and we got the Kickback with Tron
The
Jones.
Kickback with Tron Jones. Now, I've
I
heard,
watched
Comedy.
it. That was pretty fun.
I've heard a
good.
lot of, dude, I've heard a
It's a
lot of
pretty cool show.
feedback on that show, and people are just like, dude, that is a funny show.
Yeah.
It's all comedy.
Can you do me now? I see the poster, and it looks like they have one Mexican. Well, actually, 2 Mexicans on there.
3.
I see 2 on the bottom.
The guy's name is Israel. He's from like the Middle East.
Well, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see that. Can you please
Either
talk
was
to?
Oh, Lorraine Lopez. She might be Puerto Rican.
Yeah, can you talk to that
Puerto
show? Make
Rican.
sure we get an abundant
Stephanie
supply of
Tejada.
Mexicans on that show. We could take them to the quinceañera with us on Saturday, get them culturized, and we'll be good to go. Dude, real quick before we get out of here, did you eat anything at the quinceañera?
Carrasco.
I did.
What'd you have?
Bianicos.
I had the corn
With
the-
the elote?
yeah,
with the mayonesa and the
Mayonnaise.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it was
no,
just
no,
mantequilla.
It was just the cheese.
That's it?
No,
And then
oh yeah, it was cheese.
Yeah, cheese
Queso.
and the Parmesan
Uh-huh.
cheese. And
Yeah.
then
So you didn't have no fruit, no tostinos?
You didn't have any of that chicken. The chicken
Robert
was
look like he
really
eats
good.
fruit?
The beans were good.
I didn't. I had some kind of
The
noodles.
chips were good.
Yeah.
Some spaghetti.
That was like a
looking
salad.
Yeah, that's
type of
spaghetti.
thing.
The Mexican spaghetti.
That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
pretty
it's really
cool.
good.
Little on the
Yeah,
spicier side is cool.
I've been to a lot of quinceañeras in my day, and that one was slamming far and away. Good food. The people were really nice. Everybody
The
there
cool
was
part
really
about
nice.
it was it started raining, right? And we were outdoors. So no. There were two elements of everyone got closer and so it made for a more intimate
didn't
thing.
wanna get wet.
Plus, everyone was watching to see who was going to get splashed on as those tarps started to sag
Everybody
and
was
sag with
talking
more
like
water.
this. Yeah, Lucy.
Yeah, and I'd be like, oh, well, who's next? And then I got hit with a whole ton of
Yeah.
water on my back. I was like, ah!
It was awesome.
But it was just water, and you know what? It wasn't a bar mitzvah. It was a quinceañera, you know.
Yeah.
So everyone was
Porque son de los debutantes.
Yeah.
Or whatever you call them.
so
make sure you tune in. A lot of stuff
lot.
coming up. A lot of good feedback, Robert. I got to tell you, man.
don't
people
be fooled by
are starting to
imposters or
check it out.
disgruntled
Absolutely. So
ex-employees.
make sure you check out the rest of the shows on there. They can also go to what's the website? They can go check it out. Family Affair.
Fanbase.com.
Fanbase.com.
We gotta plug OTM.
And don't forget
This has been
onthemat.com.
OTM Lab.
Make sure
On
you
the
check
mat.
them out.
Our callers, Gabe Ruediger.
Oh yeah,
and
Gabe Ruediger, and of course Adrian Yanez
That's
out there
right.
in the Philippines. Out there in the Philippines. Out there in Thailand. See, that's
Remember-
because you got me talking about Filipino food. Out
Check
there in
out
Thailand.
OTM for all your mixed martial arts equipment and apparel needs.
Yes, and don't forget you can go to myluckygee.com to check out the geese and stuff over there. It is an honor to get choked out by an 8-year-old with. Real quick before we get out of here, there was only one time I got in trouble by the FCC on air without me knowing. We were talking about getting choked out. And
You talking about choking a kid?
I told
Gotta be ashamed of
Sergio, I go, Sergio's been tapping 8-year-olds for the last.
Can you not say
And
that
we got
when
a
I'm
letter.
next to you?
We got a letter.
Can you not talk about that when I'm with you?
Watch what you say or
Please,
whatever.
yes,
so
come on.
we'll run that back.
Especially when
Yeah,
you talk
you
about
just said it
Thailand.
again.
Get out of here.
You just said it again. The
We need a new-
FCCD's
we're
nuts is gonna
talking
come.
jujitsu. Okay, so just to let you know.
He talks about my vocabulary.
Exactly.
Oh
So we'll see everybody here next Monday. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you check fanbase.com to check out all the information on there. We'll see everybody right here tomorrow, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Royal Ramble. See you then.
That's
See
the
ya.
Royal Ramble. Don't you dare miss it.
Say it like this. And don't you dare miss it.
Are we